within their wheelhouse. We'll see if there's a force buy on the CT side here. Dust 2, you are prone to see a few. Scouts can come out with the pistols, but it looks like ENCE going to take the full eco instead and focus on getting those rifles out in the third.
Okay, just peeking down mid to see what he can spot. It's over toward B with quite a few players.
has been planted. Bomb has been planted. Terrorists win.
somehow making that kill, and then all of a sudden it falls apart for ENCE. But they're actually not investing at all, really. You can see X7 just with the USP, as Shoxy will use that long spawn once again. It's one of the few maps in the pool that is spawn-based, I would say, as Alu will be checking out T-spawn and taking down Body. So, Alu looks like he's ready to challenge today. It's good to see. Snipers on Dust 2 are very prevalent, as Lucky just helps himself towards long. And they've been so good on Dust 2, but right now a little bit sloppy, as Alu's boosted up, looking towards lower B. They have the fuse kits, but only 1 HE remaining. Remember, X7 didn't purchase anything here. He's got the USP in upper B.
Nade it long just to hopefully catch damage on anyone who was pushed up. Rather evident they don't have information by throwing that nade. Certainly G2 can take advantage of that. And Lucky positions himself accordingly. You thinking what I'm thinking?
What's that?
Run boost, maybe? Smoke's gone? I thought maybe they might try and send one across. Smokes are redeployed, however, so no vision for Alexa. They'll go for the backside boost. We know this is extremely powerful. They've got to consider it, and they don't. That seems to work far too commonly.
Yeah, it really does. Very effective, and the HE's coming in now. Still going to be a chance here for ENCE, but maybe not for long, as they get absolutely lit up there by Kenny S and Lucky. Shox chiming in with the AWP kill as well. He got the initial pick with the long spawn, and he manages to hold on to the AWP. It's G2 5, ENCE 2, as they continue to battle here on their CT side. It looks like Alu's invested in a UMP. They've brought out the AUGs as well. They did take an eco technically last round, so they've still got enough to buy.
I wonder if to deny that boost, you just drop a Molotov behind the smoke as well.
Yeah, you might have to. You are right. We are seeing it a lot, and it usually finds a kill. It's a nice little boost, and the T's are so focused on the bomb site that looks a lot more maybe than it should do. As for now, contact B play. This is a classic French approach. Wait for the initial utility, the incendiary or the smoke, walk in together with a dribbled out smoke from the B tunnels there. It's going to be Shox to open things up, but X7 answers back quickly with 2.
2 very quickly indeed. Shox got the opener on the 8WP, interestingly enough, so they run double up T side. It's not unheard of on Dust, well, it's fairly unheard of on Dust 2. It's not very common, let's just put it that way, but it hasn't certainly been seen mid-round, it's mid-half, I should say.
I guess if you play a lot of Dust 2 online, you'd think,
yeah, okay, that's a little different.
Exactly. You'd think like double orbs, yeah, it's fine. But yes, in pro level, you'd rarely see double orbs on the T side on any map, to be honest. But Dust 2, had to choose one, I guess that was where it would be. Alu now, if he gets one of these kills, that's great work. But Lucky should be checking this when he comes through. He is, but taken down by the UMP, and now puts a lot of pressure on Shox. But he rises to the occasion, finds his second frag, and now it's the double orbs to try and clutch this one back. Kenny normally hits those maps, and we down to 15 HP.
Nades toward mid. Shox is just going to hit the shot on Ariel, who's sneaking through anyway. So 2 on 2, they pull it back slightly, and thankfully so, they do it without taking any damage because it's 36 and 14 to work with. Zevin with the AUG, 28 seconds. They've got to confront mid, it seems, because that's where they want to go. Kenny wants to open up from CT. It's not even going to be a split. They want to try and trade it immediately.
As soon as these smokes roll like that, they're both going down. There's no chance Kenny hits the shot now as X7 perfectly positioned. And yes, they didn't really have much of a chance at the double orbs, kind of demonstrating why it's not really a viable option. If you get to the latter stages of the round, you haven't planted, it's a nightmare to operate close range with those weapons. Might have been better off just going towards short and actually having a trade potential there. As soon as they went CT spawn, it all fell apart, but they were unlucky of the good positioning of X7 there. Great kills towards upper B, and finishes off with 2 frags of the AUG as well. So, well, look at the cash for G2 as they take their first time out here. They've got enough to buy, but it wouldn't be fantastic. It'd be Shoxy getting an AWP out, the rest of them with a mixture of rifles and SMGs, maybe pistols, as they work out what their next approach will be. They can buy this one and have the opportunity to go for the fast reset. You can see the money not really established on the CT side. 2 FAMASs coming out. Alu has been dropped the AWP, I would imagine. Shoxy buys an AK. Remember, he had extra cash, though, so he might just be going for one of those tactical purchases around Deagles. I think that's going to be the case. He'll probably smoke Xbox at the start, get up towards short, see if they can play off him. Shox hasn't really been performing at this event to the standard you might expect. There's the Xbox smoke from Shox. And they'll go for the short control, but Alu is so infamous for playing the car position and hitting shots for players that cross over towards the bomb site.
That car, you can't see through it anymore, but I don't think it's as strong in terms of bullet resistance as the previous one. So it is interesting that that subtle change is being seen a little bit more, but you're right, that position is still very powerful for the op. He can swing. He's actually like to go more aggressive toward Catwalk this time and hit one and drop. If they run around quickly, he'll still be on the ramp. He'll rely, blast is perfect. I was going to say, he'll still rely on the rifles, but it's Aerial and Alexib all there. So they had the information of Catwalk. They still get picked apart, and now Alexib on Goose has to stay all by himself. They line up for him. That's pretty good. He gets 2. Now his teammates are encouraged to rotate the advantage back out. It's Black as well. USP, Alexi B, he's got 4.
Fantastic work there from the young Finn. Managing to step up just when his team needs him as well. It was looking like it was going to be a very awkward defense there. Alu goes down after not really detecting they're up towards short so quickly. The flashbangs come through, but Alexi B flashes them back, manages to get 4 in total. The first 2 were great, and you could see it put the fear of God into the rest of the GT players. They didn't want to face that. They didn't actually know he only had the USP left. He'd actually expended most of his bullets there, but he pulls out the pistol, nails both of them, and the money is nicely established now. As Alu looks towards T-Spawn, it's going to be Shoxy making his way along. He needs to be very careful. The CT is ready to fight as they get the first 2 kills once again.
Shox already as he rounded the long corner. Alexi B again, he's combined with Aerial. And Jax finds himself suddenly in a 1-on-5. ENCE going to tie the game potentially on the same number as he does at least get 1 through the mid doors, quite literally through the mid door. But they're pursuing and swarming him from long. 3 players there. Could isolate the first, not even going to happen. The AUG gets the angle and it's tie game.
They really are focusing on that long spawn and trying to take it over and over again. And ENCE seem to have a great procedure. Usually when you're on the CT side, you can smoke it from the car, you can flash it, you can actually bait in with teammates and waiting for the flash, it comes over, and at that point the smoke's already in the doors as well. You can see what a nightmare that is for G2, as Aerial once again makes him look very average. They go for that long take. No real damage taken, and they have to be full eco here. Alu's just so happy to face towards T-Spawn. You don't see many AWPers these days actually want to take that peek, as he looks towards lower now, and that's exactly where they're heading. He's looking to steal away 1 kill, fall back. Got it. That's the bomb down as well. He doesn't want any more than that because it's such a risky position, but he gets away, calls for backup, gets a second.
Done. Sergey's going to come out and join him, but they've already funneled him on a catwalk. Bomb down. Alexi, you can see that. Molotov on top of it as well. Nades. Little more damage, very little more. But Alexi B positions aggressively, which is interesting enough, but he's got the support. Aerial's come around to work with him. And those 2 seem to have some synergy so far on Dust 2. Smoke down, timer on it. Alexi knows exactly what to do, falls off the angle, but can still see the bomb. And even if Kenny gets one of these spectacular deagles, the chance of 2, very unlikely.
It's falling a little bit flat here for G2. Remember, they won the pistol. And all of a sudden, it looks like ENCE are much stronger than them on their gun rounds here. T-side should be dictating the pace, should be able to get out long and flash them off, but they can't seem to break through right now, as they'll take another timeout here. There's Alu, as Des said, the father figure.
He is indeed, yeah, congratulations to Alu. New life in this world, he's a father for the first time. Had to fly home at the end of the Challenger stage to be there for the birth.
It's lucky he won then, and got here.
It was, that's true, and then got back. I mean, it worked out very fortunately. Hopefully, the rest of parenthood does as well. 6-5, do you think the fact that Vitality, not necessarily being the, and we're far from this now, but the G2 aura that existed, do you think that lights a fire under them? Do they have to get in now to prove that they're still on par?
They have to, really, don't they? Just because, yes, there's a lot of pressure on this team. You've got so many star-studded players within it. The organization's huge, and they expect nothing but brilliance. And getting to the top 8, I think, is expected of this squad, but they are rebuilding still. You've got to give them some time. As, once again, Matt, all they seem to be throwing towards ENCE is that long take. It ain't working. Why are they not smoking the corner?
Yeah, there needs to be an adjustment there. I say Vitality through. Obviously, they're in the upper bracket still. They're not through to the top 8, but they are currently 1 step ahead of G2.
So that long take not working out for them. They have to make their way towards middle, but it's the utility sending them packing once again. CTs have full control of this situation. So if you want to take long, yes, the spawn-based gameplay can work, but when it looks like the CTs are very well drilled and they have their routines down to block it off, you need to start executing towards long. The double smoke in the corner, flashes to focus on the pits and actually break through. And this is not the way to do it. That's a one-player maneuver through flames. Even if he gets to 1 kill, he's going to die.
Incredibly optimistic.
It's not a great look for G2 right now.
Well, communication seems to be certainly breaking down, as you say, on a flat body.
Like these guys, like Sean did a video on it, they've got great executions. They've got strategies in this map. We're only seeing wrong takes so far and lackluster defaults. And his body's left in a 5 versus 1. Not really much he can do with this. Yes, he's got the bomb now. He'll be dropped through the smoke. That's going to be Sergey confirming the clean sweep as ENCE take the lead now 7-5 on their CT side of Dust 2. There's no real pressure there. You can see there's no utility towards the corner. There's no constant pump of flashes behind the Ts. There's one flash and then the CTs come on blind after what? 1.5 seconds, and then at that point they're ready to fight. It's the full commitment I don't like as well. Like the T-Sec can go for the pick. You don't necessarily have to run all the way out the doors. You could just see if you beat the smoke and then go for the pick and fall back, but they're very stubborn and want to keep going with it.
Wow.
If you die in T-spawn at that moment, you know you've really messed up, man.
It was at this moment.
Yeah.
He knew.
You really shouldn't be jumping around there after freeze time has expired.
Impressive that Ali was through the door as well.
It was a great shot.
Pretty bold.
But that's the shot he's going to hit.
He's expected to. That's why they pay him the big bucks. Catwalk. What's the intent? They'll back it off. 2 inside of the B site. 1 on top of the site on A. I take that back. Excuse me. It's Alexi that went back underneath in CT. So it wasn't above Goose is down below, which means he easily makes the call and spots out the fact that they're going to be working toward B. That gives Zevin and Sergey the chance to go aggressive, and the AUG makes no mistake. Turn it back just to find Jax in the smoke. That's all that's left of the round.
Well, it was Alexi B in the interview that said they've been working on their Dust 2 in the downtime and trying to fix all the problems they've had throughout the course of this tournament. They said their T-sides are looking a lot stronger now. That does not bode well at this point for G2. This is their map pick, and so far it's a pistol and a few scrambled gun rounds that have gone in their favor. I thought they would look a lot stronger today, but this is flat again. But surely not just a long spawn. They've got it again. It's going to be lucky with it. The bomb on his back. Does he commit to it again, considering how badly it's gone for them? Okay, this time just baiting it out. Flashbang's there, realizing it hasn't worked for them, so that, I like that. Alu will be looking towards lower though. And flash shot. That's the flash you need to actually stop this boost, but not powerful enough, it seems. Very good stuff from Alu.
Yeah, fantastic again on the AWP. Shucks down Kenny, trying to make amends for it. He'll go back down middle with his own up, but no one on the other side of the door. They don't need to. Good nade to Alexi B, but he's still going to hold on Cat. In fact, throw out a nade of his own. It does no damage. Wrong side of the Xbox, I'm afraid.
So if you ever see that flash in a player towards lower, that confirms this is what we call the default. This is the usual flight paths, is getting map control, usually focused towards short. They failed that at the very first hurdle. That flashbang and the timing for Shox making his way towards lower just didn't work out for them. As now they still have their smokes, and this looks to be somewhat of a execution. They've got 3 players towards shore right now, boosting Kenny up to see if Ali wants to peek them. But at this stage, no one there, and it's wasting time. They've got 1 player in T-spawn, that's lucky, looking for any long flanks, but the CTs, when you have the advantage, you don't really have to push. It's only when you're on the back foot, you need to be reclaiming the map and working out where you can actually cause some damage. Here's the execution though, we're finally going to see it. Flashes to go over, surely. Alexi actually gets himself in a horrible spot, and like we said, Ali very good at these sort of positions and demonstrating it now.
He's warmed up into this game, because first 4 rounds, he missed some shots. That time he does as well. Bomb to be planted, body. Was he tagged through the box there by him, or was that a nade damage? So Alu did get the shot. Nonetheless, the bomb goes down, so disappointing perhaps from Alu's perspective. Now a chance for G2 to collect on the round, but Sergey's already got body. Kenny's missed the shot on Goose. He really needs it, and he has to get deep inside the sight fast. Unfortunately, it's just not going to work out like it used to for Kenny, and it's lucky with a Molotov, mind you, but a very desperate throw. And I don't think that's going to spill down on top of the bomb. Nonetheless, he'll give it a crack. As they're off of it, so it has actually dropped in. You're right, they're on it now, just to the wide side of the flames. They'll get the defuse, and it's ENCE on number 9.
Finally, we see a bit of variation there, but they couldn't get 5 players into the execution. You've lost Your in-game leader, your captain, he goes down early, he's frustrated, and you're going into that execution. We saw it, but unfortunately, only the bomb plant there couldn't hold on, and Alu waits for the flash, repeats. He can't believe his luck. There's a player there. It's a very fast shot, so is that one, but it was enough as Kenny, quick scoping all over the place, couldn't connect anything.
The interesting thing, two sides of it. One is they got gifted a kill even with the execution. Alexi, got caught jumping on the ramp. But also, when they were executing, it was a perfect default for ENCE. They hadn't moved the CTs at all. One to long, one to car, one to goose, 2 and B, boom, done. That's the way this round starts. So the fact that they had to execute that late without any information and not moving them at all just says they're not getting enough done mid-round. And Shocks obviously went down last time. He might suffer a similar fate this time. Certainly Kenny could from inside of Suicide with Alu peeking. I think they've caught on to that because Kenny looks like he's ready for that peak.
Well, they got battered and bruised previously, Alu looking towards the T-spawn position, so he does fall back. This is better from G2. This is what they had to do before. Instead of getting rid of players at the start and losing the first pick almost every single round, let's slow it right down. Let them use their utility, see where they're picking. Be careful. And this time it works out. Lucky and Shocks chime in at the same time. They've got a 5 versus 3. They really have to convert this one. Aerial and CT score. Not a great position. 48K47. He'll get one, but it's going to leave X7 with a pretty impossible situation here. They need to be very careful, though. Can't afford to just give kills up, but it's going to be Kenny has to close things out. That's his 7th kill of the half. Considering it's Dust here, it's a very slow performance by him. Alu looking strong. The whole of the CT unit actually providing numbers there and recovering from a lost pistol.
This is an elimination match. It's map 1 between ENCE and G2. Pretty evenly matched. G2 need to pull up their socks. It's 9-6. We'll take a break for half. 9-6 and Dust 2. They go over to the T side. Typically this map's pretty even in terms of round distribution, so not much to read into that. But G2 definitely fell apart. They went flat, as you phrased it, Henry.
Yeah, just because I thought Dust 2, this veto, it looked very good for them. This had to be a lock-in though. They had to turn up, and yes, they just don't look that great right now. But it's a new half, and they can certainly get back into it. Let's see what they bring to the table. We've talked about ENCE and their struggles on the T side. They've got 2 smokes here and a bullet to the face. Alu goes down to 1 HP. I think that was in T spawn. We'll see where he can recover that, as now it's up to the rest of his teammates who focus towards middle. Kenny S alone in mid for now, holding with the USP. He has no utility as he just looks for headshots here. Little does he know, he's got 3 Ts on the other side who are looking to flash over and maybe go for this B split, as they've got 1 player in upper B, that's Alu. And they'll send 4 through middle by the looks of things.
Kenny overwhelmed, but gets away with it.
That's nice, a decoy over the top just to bait out a reaction. It's pretty cool, and then they can go for their final play here.
Yep, worked. Certainly did get a reaction from them. Body, doors, flash itself. He can't hit a jumping target. Maybe he should have swung to find the guys going through the window instead, though, because that put them in the sight, and his teammate, little to work with. Lucky, he's done very well indeed. He'll find Aerial to follow up. Shocks gets one as well, and it's Alu trying to rotate back in and save his teammates, save the round. Can't do it.
Well, there it is. G2 now with another pistol. They will be looking to convert this, of course. It was getting a little bit hairy for them there, but it's Lucky with the stack on towards B, managing to have the surprise attack and nail the headshots required. Body probably should have got one from the doors there, unable to find the headshot, and it will be 9-7. Still in favor of ENCE, but I don't think they'll be buying this round. They're going to get a couple of smokes here. Probably the same approach. Smoke Xbox, flash short, and try and get the bomb down in that regard. We'll see if it happens. As Shoxy defending the long area. They've only got 1 M4 so far and a FAMAS. G2 aren't huge adversaries of the... Well, we'll see if they want to maybe join the rest of the teams and pick it up a little bit more. We'll see. It's going to be Sergey, the back of the pack. As the nade comes in, it's a little bit late. He's throwing that right behind them, but that's going to be a problem. He will go down to the Glock, where Shox is there to defend with the M4.
He's certainly going to get that at the ready. The nade didn't do it, but softened them up either way with the MP5, and the M4 closes out Sergey down. So G2, despite conceding a bomb plant, will bring it back to just a 1-round game, and in doing so, that bomb going down for ENCE. What's the purchase going to be?
They're certainly going to buy. That's actually mission completed for them. They're full eco. They get 1 kill, they get the bomb down, they'll take it. Absolutely. That's all they wanted from this. That's an extra $800 per player. AK's coming out. Ali's got the AWP. We know how powerful he was in the first half. His picks were fantastic. Kenny S now with 9 kills. Only 1 behind Alu, but the AWP impact has certainly been greater for the Finn. Into this first gun round here. CTs know they're up against it. Do we see anything change? We see maybe a B push with the MP9, something like that, just to get that first frag in their favor. As Jax looks to throw the incendiary towards long. It has managed to make it, but lands in a smoke. And this is what I wanted to see from G2. The smoke on the corner, you want to see the flashes over, and it's so overwhelming, but that's well done by Shox to actually find one in return. But still a 4-on-4. As far as ENCE are concerned, they're happy with that. They've still got an equal situation. They've got long control now, and where's the reaction from the CTs? Do they push him a B here? Do they find the shot towards long? Apparently not. Kenny S spots one in pit, but can't take off his head.
So Sergey gets down inside of it. He'll have to hang out with the stench of a deceased teammate.
Indeed.
But the fact that it's traded, they could certainly exploit that, and they've got 2 toward mid as well.
So the fact they have the long control now, they can leave 1 player in the pit. Ideally, it's your AWPer, but it doesn't seem to be the case here. And then you go for the short control as well. So it's what we call a pincer move. And now the CT's trying to get towards short and have the advantage here. But it looks like the timing not working out for Kenny, but he somehow makes it work. Alu can't get the trade, and they've actually done a very good job there, bringing the map back in their favor. 4 versus 3 as ENCE cross long.
Holding it off, but he gets caught. Alexei found it, he got on the site quickly and jumps around to get the bomb down as well. Lucky gets to elevator, can certainly hear one on catwalk, but gives away his position and now has to be completely aware of the repeat potential. Jax gets Alu down with the MP9. The rotation from Sergey could save the round for them. They're still working in, trying to get position. He's got the AK on him already. Now they realize they're completely locked out because he's behind and they're pinched.
Pretty textbook round there from ENCE, managing to get the long control in the correct manner. You don't necessarily just have to take the spawn of a couple of flashes and hope for the best. They smoked the corner. They then saw like 6 flashes over to get one player into the pit. They trade out the kill. They pincer from short. Yes, Kenny did a great job with AWP to actually get one kill in their favor, but it was then when the bomb went down and the big flank came in towards short. That's when it all fell apart. Really classic stuff from ENCE. They'll take the lead and force G2 to just the pistols here. They're going to go for a 5-man stack. Are they smoke middle? Well, that's going to rush B. Unless, oh, they did smoke it. Okay, well, there you go. You have to smoke middle if you're going to stack towards long. So we'll see that flash come over. ENCE have no idea. 5 players will be on A, but they're going to hold up very passively. Don't want to give anything up here. And realizing it's not a long take, G2 will fall back and head towards middle, what looks things.
Alu still holding off with the op.
They need a little bit of intel first, just before they can make their move. Flash through mid. Lexi
still didn't spot anyone from that.
No.
Second strike. 2 looking from Cat. Only get, oh, they did follow it. I was going to say they only get 1 because the second looked up the Xbox position. They thought mid was clear because he didn't go far enough. We spotted that. So now, at least they hold it together. It is 11 for ENCE. G2 halted for 2 rounds in a row, and that means the money gets a little bit questionable. There's enough, certainly, to buy.
Which they will.
But there's going to be a question mark over that going forward, and Shox himself doesn't have tons of money.
Yeah, he might have to go for the SMG here, or just a deagle. Is Aerial getting it done? They did go for that long stack initially, fell back towards middle. They get a couple of frags out of it. Shoxy with 20 kills, just to note. Gets the MP9 out. Kenny S with the AWP, but no helmet. Should be a big deal against these AKs, though. Ala using the B spawn this time. Watching the platform, see if anyone wants to jump up. They'll usually flash it first. Smoke comes in, that'll actually remove them from the situation for a while, but the B split coming in very good.
Ariel's going to be the one to go body, though, from the window, finds 2. That cues in Shox. He's confident, knowing there's probably, if anyone left, just 1. And he gets the MP9 kill. He can also upgrade onto an AK-47, so again, if his money was limited, it's not now. And the round looking secure. We'll see if he can find anything else, because Devon's given up the bomb. And Alu's gone all the way back around to spawn. Unfortunately, positioning mid from Lucky has moved, and Jax finds him from outside of the cave.
That's more like it from G2. That's what we want to see. Clean rounds, looking comfortable, and actually now they'll keep 5 players alive there, and it looks like the reset has been pretty successful. ENCE will still buy into this one. It's only Alexi B who's got $1,700. The rest of them can buy up here, so they can bring AKs out. Might want to call the timeout here and just discuss the overall complexion of the round. But now we've actually got some actual foundations for G2. They'll nade towards middle instead of using the smoke at the start, which gives them a bit more longevity towards B. Now they're looking for any challenge at all. Lucky is there with the secondary orb now. Looking towards top and middle. Difficult position to play on the CT side. Flashed off all the time. T's facing you, but you got the orb. You can definitely go for an initial kill, but decides to back at that B bomb site. And no one with eyes towards short right now, so that's going to allow ENCE up there at least.
Pushing up from Catwalk. Flames to extinguish, but counter flash. Get Shox inside of the corner at Goose. Kenny still holds cross from down below as well, and that's quite evident as we look into it. The smoke fake toward B. Single smoke, that's all. Lucky still inside of the site. They've got window held from body. The fact that he's that far away from the A site's beneficial. If they can find the kills with enough conviction on A. Lexi will Molotov the ramp, hoping to move anyone out of it. They'll do the same toward Goose. Kenny now flashed, perfect time. But Shox comes out late, only for 1. Alu with a good trade. And bomb already being planted. I don't think they're aware of it. If they would have spammed through the box with the AWP, Jack still does manage to get Alu. But Sergey stealthily crawls back, swings to the box, deagle in hand, knows that Jax's position. These flashes have been quite good from both sides this round, but they're not converting to kills, and it gets awkward on the site. It is Kenny just holding and waiting with the AWP because Lexi B still has the bomb in front of him, but Kenny's got the up-close shot.
That's more like it. Bomb goes down for ENCE, but 3 survive for G2. That's the execution towards the A side. We saw the Molotovs, the smokes down, flashes were working. They managed to keep a decent amount of players alive as well when the bomb got planted, but overall, G2 managing to actually pincer them a whole attack and shut it down quite quickly. as now the loss bonus starting to rack up, but ENCE only have $3,000 per player. We will see little to no investment, maybe a P250 Deagles. That's about it. They're going to get a couple of smokes and flashes as well. Maybe set themselves out that B split potential. The T sides have been questionable recently. They're going to send 4 towards the B tunnels now. Smoke on the Xbox. You ideally want to throw that every single round if you can. Just take vision away and keep them guessing. It's similar to the outside smokes on Nuke, for example. You can throw those every single round, use them sometimes. And for now, not going to be using it. So just to suggest there might be some presence towards middle as they make their way towards B. Body, unfortunately with his timing, but still alive, does some damage, and enough time for Lucky to rotate in and start shutting them down one by one. Looks like a clean sweep, and indeed that is confirmed. 5 players survive for G2. The B approach denied was not a force though, and so we're buying up here as G2 tie things up 11-11. This map now on a nice edge. I've got G2 as a heavy favourite going into it, but their T side was so
You
quiet.
say heavy favourite, and they've been certainly growing into this event. Many teams have. MIBR, another one to note. Vitality. Shocks, Kenny looked great at the last half of the Challenger stage, but at the same time, ENCE on paper have been the favourites in terms of the ratings and what everyone kind of felt.
I think the overall series is very even, but I feel like just this map in particular, where G2 has to shine. They send a message out that they're going to turn up today. And so far, yes, it is 11-11, but they're not looking as dangerous as you might think. There's been a lot of questionable moments. Shoxy goes down alone again, as now Katowice has to deliver a few kills in towards Shaw. Nails the first one, surely gets a second as well. Into the punch by Jax. Molotov makes things very uncomfortable indeed as they keep fighting here. It's Sergey challenging CT spawn. Flashbang comes in, and she uses the smoke instead.
See, works for him. Massive gap, he takes control of it, knew exactly what Jax had in mind, almost baiting him into the situation, but now there is one that they still have to cross. That creates a problem later. Hood of the car to try and elevate. Lucky's missed the shot. They're lucky to get away with it and get across, with Alu now holding the bomb and an AK in a position where he could potentially plant. They have to be very cognizant of the fact that the op's still... Oh, that's a... He's bounced still onto Catwalk. They think... if I was Alu, I'd be jumping on the site trying to plant right now. Because if they think that Molotov's going to keep them off of it, you've got the opportunity, and exactly that. He's going to do what I mentioned, behind the box. They get together, they want to trade this, they want the op to work in with the AUG, get it to split position, jump up, confirm that Alu's on the site. But I say split position because they still have to consider a 180-degree crossfire with Sergey against the wall. Smoke to isolate him, that's probably the best way to do it for Body. Jump 5, didn't see Alu, spots him now. As the shots come in, it's Sergey that will swing out, counters off the smoke they deployed just for him. He's got one, but not ready with the AWP as Alu finds it instead.
Double offset at that time for G2, and Lucky missing the shot that really counted towards the A ramp at that point. Able to plant, he also missed the incendiary as well, which would have actually bought them some time. That'd be 7 seconds with the bomb going down. He could have repositioned and maybe had more time on the rotation for his teammate, but they still have plenty of cash here. It's not the end of the world. It's 12-11 in favor of ENCE as they pull this round back. There is going to be a tactical timeout. Alu getting it done, closing out the round against Lucky, and recovers the AWP as well. So it's been a rough second half so far for ENCE, but they're still in the lead. When we see the double AWP set up again, Lucky after a couple of misses might not be feeling it. His confidence might be a little bit low, but still buys up the weapon. Ready to go into battle once again. Shoxy needs to be a little bit careful. Yes, he's got 22 frags, but the where he dies is where they seem to be losing rounds. Goes down by himself a lot, tries to go for those solo ventures. Coming to the last few rounds now. Lexi B on the Galil, same story for X7 as well, so this is a crucial round. Both teams at breaking point as Katowice finds the courage to face towards long. Incendiary not amazing shots. A little push towards middle, he's the first one to die.
Absolutely is.
Trend.
Yeah, unfortunately, and it's toward mid again they want to go. Jack's already holding them off. It's not quite the same default this time on the site. As Alexib is able to get Jax immediately. Katowice down below, still trying to get up on top of the boxes for a shot. Double off, both on the ramp. They can't find the angles, and they'll have to back off of it for now. Sergey still approaching from long. He won't cross, doesn't need to. Bomb came in from Catwalk. He'll just anchor the position, and G2 might have to consider backing away from this one.
I think they have to at this point. I'm not convinced by the secondary orb of Lucky so far. Seems like he misses a lot of crucial shots.
Unlucky?
Yeah, perhaps. But 4 alive rents, and it will be G2 to save here. I don't think they'll hunt too much here because their money's already low on the T side. Keep everyone alive, that's fine. You're going to force them into a buy next round, but the double AWP is always going to be dangerous. Round confirmed. It is going to be 13-11 for ENCE. Remember, this is the elimination game. This is the 1 and 2 portion. So whoever loses this best of 3 is out. If you win, you're not through to the round of 8. You go 2 and 2, and you'll have to play another best of 3, which will be taking place tomorrow.
That's absolutely correct. But none of these teams, at this major in particular, want to be going home this early. We used to have majors condensed into a week. We've expanded them quite considerably. This one, 3 weeks long. It's a long time to sit on the sidelines and watch the rest of the action.
Yeah, absolutely.
A week left still.
So he tries to push middle. Again, he's there alone. He had a bit of backup from his teammates in terms of a flash, but as soon as they get that first pick, you're going to go towards A. That's where Shoxy is usually positioned. You know that part of the map's going to be weakened. And so is Lucky now, down to 31 as Alu tags him through the doors. Always so frustrating to receive that bullet. It doesn't kill you, but it leaves you wounded. And now, CTs do have long control. Nothing too quick here from the terrorists. He's holding in towards upper B. Shoxy holding blue bin. He managed to save 3 weapons of 4, 2 AWPs. One of which is the back of the B platform.
Xbox position, they'll get toward Cat. They're still holding toward middle as well. Alexi does have bomb, has to be a little bit careful not to be peeked, but Kenny instead going to get aggressive, bit in between at this point. Remember, we saw Alu in the first half get flashed on this position and absolutely obliterated for it. So he's actually going to back off and play the boxes. Potential to Molotov in that angle. He seems rather indecisive, does he not?
Well, he'll be tested at this point at least. Molotov's going in. You can see it's stifling the Kenny S, but still the flashes continue to rain in. He's actually caught on the ramp here. Nice shot, but he has to find multiple kills and have a chance. That had to connect, which it does not. And the AK's coming to life here. Great stuff so far from ENCE. It's down to Shoxy. He has started to drop off in the second half. We'll see if he can recover this situation. Absolutely not. Lucky, already tagged at the start, down to 31 HP. Looks like they have to save once again. It's ENCE by their 14th round. This time, ENCE can actually justify going on the hunt here. They don't want to remove absolutely everything and give them nothing for the next round.
Absolutely, secure the map point in doing so. Kenny was very considerate. It seemed like he was indecisive, but he wanted to get up close at the drop shot. Once he saw the smokes come down, he knew that they were going to be closer. Went back and knew on the ramp he was going to be Molotov'd, so he just waited, bought his time, had a fantastic first shot. But you're right, the second one really had to land, and this double off setup's didn't yield anything for G2. Big miss from Body, that's a gun down.
Yeah, his aim seems off today. A few of that.
He sits currently with 14, Lucky 15, same with Jax. Kenny's oddly the one at the bottom on 13.
Well, not a lot of time to rectify things here. 14-11 down. You saved Lucky AWP. The rest of your teammates had $3,000. That is not enough to buy on the CT side. So you've got 2 options here. You either force buy, give it everything you've got off the back of the AWP, or take the 5.7s, Deagles, CZs, see what can be done. Into the next round here. Alu this time not doing any damage. It's Lucky on the AWP. And remember, he hasn't had a great amount of success with it. Does he get boosted up? He has got a teammate there. Looks like that will be the case. Needs to crouch. Kenny S. No longer the AWP this round. Didn't buy anything except a Lucky. Oh my goodness, it's all gone wrong. They've boosted in lower B.
They countered the boost when he wasn't peeking.
Yeah, that's a nightmare.
It would have been a free shot if he would spot them in the middle of the jump doing it. That's unbelievable.
Why were they so apprehensive to go for the boost? They were just sitting there for a while, like looking at each other.
Expecting a flash maybe to get over top for them?
Not sure.
Is it possible that they wanted Jax to try and flash them in? I'm not really certain as to why you'd back off on that. Costs them dear. Down a man already. AWP for Lucky is all that remains. And this, again, could be map point for ENCE. Mirage is map number 2, just to know.
Which is their pick.
That's a spicy meatball. Alexi B will go all the way around onto Quad. Jax will hear him coming, but he'll actually check Goose first. It doesn't matter, it's traded off. Sergey just a little bit late to the mark to save his teammate, but again, at this point, process of elimination, and by that I mean eliminating 3 remaining G2 players.
Oh, Alu. Player right beneath him. Does he check it? It's going to be Shoxy. Even if Shoxy gets this kill, it's unlikely he can do anything with it. They're right next to each other for now, though. Shox is waiting for a mistake to be made. Anyone crossing back towards short. Footsteps. He's got his opportunity here. Or it hasn't worked out for him.
Quick check behind in the tunnels.
Just to note, G2, bear in mind, won both pistols here. They're gun rounds. They've had some great ones, sure, but they've also had some very poor ones as well. Its body is taken down to the 6 points of health. He's only got 150, you don't have to kill him. The bomb takes care of it anyway. And Lucky will save the AWP at least. They're not out of it just yet, but it is 15-11 on the G2 pick Dust 2 here.
Worth noting as well, there's 4 timeouts remaining for ENCE. It's a 15-11 game. It hasn't been clear-cut for them at all times, and yet they haven't used one at all, whereas on G2's side of the things, they've used 3. And maybe the way it ends, because this is map point for ENCE. Leading the way for them, I like CB. He's been pretty solid, I have to say.
Kenny, I don't know how he lost damage there. He's on 70 HP. He's playing at the A side and I think got stabbed at the start of the round. So just to add insult to injury, we're already at
let's just
map point against us. Let's stab each other in the back.
7 holding down below. Lucky's going to rotate back in from doors. Body's back sight, not on the platform, but no one peeking at MB. We haven't seen a lot of B takes really, to be honest, from ENCE.
They've gone for a few mid splits, but it hasn't actually worked out for them too well. Every time they go A, they get that on control. They get up towards short. This might be a little bit different though, because they haven't got their Xbox smoke down. Kenny S will find the first.
Shox is waiting as well for them to wrap in. A little bit late in his anticipation. They've not gone by. I'm sure he heard them, but he's still holding to see if a third player will peek, and they will. Shox still won't find the kill. Around, smoke down the site this time. Alexi's got one. It's Jax in the pit. He's got an AUG. Spots the feet. Does he not? Behind the barrel? Apparently he can't see it with X-ray off. As Alexi just barely in behind it, will hold. He's got a great nade down to CT as well. That does no damage. That's shocking. Very little at least. And Body's got 7. It's on to 16, but they get the round at least. And G2 will find number 12. There's money left over for at least the next round on ENCE. Probably more than that.
Well, as soon as they found out Kenny S was towards middle, that was the cue for ENCE. They lost the first pick. They said, right, if he's there, we can have a pretty good chance that we can make our way towards A, get the bomb down, which they did. They didn't account for a player in the pit, though. Weren't ready for it, and down they went. It is going to be 15-12. G2 keeping themselves in it. Have to play for overtime at this stage. They go back into the double orb setup. Plenty of money for Alu and the boys as they get their orb out as well. 4 AKs, all the utility, and Alu's going to be holding towards middle here. Drops down. Towards the top of middle. Will he be holding for short or actually going for a straight up challenge here and trying to take down who's over on the other side? Thought he was going to hit that, and the CT's actually staying and hits him through the door. Lucky actually starting to land some shots now.
Kenny waiting as well on the railing. Is it too little too late to start hitting the shots, or can they force this to overtime? Certainly a possibility. Alu already tagged significantly, but they missed the shot from Kenny, and with each shot he misses is several steps they get closer.
Yeah, that was nice awareness. Crouching around the corner as well. He's actually dropped off at the same time, so this could be a bit of a problem here. Shoxy hasn't had the best CT half here. Good grenade comes through though, and an incendiary to follow it up. That's actually going to get them out of position here. Can Jax get a frag out of this? Flashbang suggests no. As they wait for the reaction to come in, there's the nade to finish off Ariel.
So the opening kill based on utility and most of the damages as well. Alexi B, he was waiting on the smokes the whole time. They've backed off, and if they want to redress that position to try and get aggressive, force the T's completely out, he could be the winner in all of this. They've come back around with him. Flash, not even. Shox moving the wall, great position to be in, but Seven's able to fire immediately onto it. And with bomb, he's got to get up catwalk quickly. Sergey's gone in long. He's done this before. 2 in front, but he couldn't find the shots fast enough. He knew that they needed to make sure 7 came in safely, but he just couldn't line up the headshots. Surprised he even got there without the consideration of his presence, but nonetheless, dropping down 7, he's going to fall. Lucky's got the kill, it's 13-15.
Lucky had the USP ready to go there, to be honest. There we go. It will be 15-13. Have they got an eco just yet out of ENCE? They're going to take a timeout at least and discuss their options. 4K on an aerial, 5,900 for Alu. The rest of them, though, not in a position to buy. G2 have made this a possibility now. They will have a couple of rounds to go, but there shouldn't be a full purchase here from ENCE. They'll probably take pistols and go for a mid-split or that short approach we saw before. Double orb setup starting to work now. Pressure starting to mount. Could be the final series for either of these teams at the major. And looks like the full eco comes through. ENCE not purchasing anything so far, at least.
First time out they've called. Is it just what they need to push them that last little bit over the finish line? And you're right. They've got the money there, not on everybody. They're going to go... Ooh, Alu's gone UMP. That leaves him at 3,400, so it's a partial buy. They'll have enough in the next to buy out fully. They'll concede potentially. I say potentially. They obviously have the intentions of winning. Concede 14 rounds before they would have a full purchase again. So around 30 would be the likely scenario.
Heading towards B, it seems. Sergey challenging Shox, and he comes out on top there. It's going to be Shoxy to funnel him towards that B side. Flash is going in. It's unlikely to get much further than this. Body's in such a great position to shut this down. Kenny has to back him up as well. They've got so much CT presence here. Great shots coming in, and it looks like the clean sweep will be confirmed at this stage. And Alexi B can't get past the smoke. So nicely done by G2 there. One of those solo pushes from Shox actually working out this time against the pistol players. He finds that, confirms it's going to be a B-side attack. In they go, nothing done, and it's round number 30. Can G2 take us all the way and find overtime? They'll be up against the full buy here, and that's Body doing so much damage as they make their way through the tunnels. That round was done pretty much then.
Certainly so. So here we go with the full buy. AWP for Alu, scout for Alexi. So far, no shots land as they'll cross it over. Body waiting inside of CT as well. He's not holding out mid, so it's single hold B for Lucky. Body has to hit with the boost on the box above the smoke as they elevate themselves, if they go ramp that is, toward B.
Well, he hasn't dropped this position in at all. It's nice to throw in there once a half. Can be very effective, but it is pre-fire, so you have to crouch and just check it every now and then. Smoke down from Shox, this time more passive, not hunting for kills here.
If it doesn't work, it is a huge... You're right in saying it's nice to chuck it in, but if it doesn't work, it's a huge risk because they would have to retake the B site if Lucky can't do a substantial heavy lifting job. Take down more than one.
They've got a scout on Lexi B here. Orb for Alu. If he gets some scout picks, I'll be thoroughly impressed. Less than a minute now, going for the long take. Just Jax waiting on the other side. He's got a flashbang in the pit. Orb of Kenny's on the A ramp. And can ENCE make their way out here? They're going to flash over now, and it's Jax in the aforementioned position who needs some protection from Kenny here before they jump in the pit.
Jax is hugging. There used to be two little boxes down there you could get behind at 1.6. Those don't exist, so there's nowhere to hide. Once the position's revealed, but he's hit a spectacular headshot onto Sergey, and Kenny's coming to his aid. Alexi's all that's left, and we're going to overtime. 15-15, good hold from G2.
This is more like it from them. It was a very slow start from G2. They've won both pistols, and it's an absolute grind, but their CT side starts to come together towards the end. They broke the money down of ENCE in the penultimate round there, managed to get it to round 30, and a solid hold at the very last round. It's Jax who's extremely patient here, and it pays off as well. They don't even check the pit. They're convinced that's clear, and he gets a couple of kills with that. Kenny starts nailing his. Good to see him actually looking fierce at this stage as we get into the first round of overtime. You can see what it means to them. First map is their pick. They want it to be successful. Regardless of the scoreline, they just need to win here. As I'm sure we'll see the double orb cell once again. It's 10k MR3. First to 19. It goes 18-18, we go double overtime as the shot connects. Alu this time hitting Lucky.
Kenny just waiting with the AWP. Smoke will go down. Bounce smoke. Jack's going to take advantage of it actually and counter it off by pushing through, but it's inside of middle. Where in which ENCE presides, and it's going to be Shox that has to hold this off. First time he's played that very close drop spot. We saw him on the wall the other time. And he's already elected to fall down because the flashbang alone has pushed him off the angle. Kenny through the smoke. Bomb, fortunately, didn't fall forward of the wall. That would have been a round in itself.
Yeah, you need to be very careful of that. If you hug the wall and the bomb gets dropped down towards CT, it can be an absolute nightmare here. Trying to recover the situation. Alu's boosted up, but yes, the smoke about to go down as they're looking for any sort of opportunity. They got to fall back. They don't feel safe here. They don't really have the full execution potential. They have a couple of smokes. They're going to drop one of those now, but receive one in turn. 45 seconds, and Shoxy, vision removed for now, but not a huge deal. He's got Kenny S behind him.
So back away. Change the play, perhaps. 3 already on top of the ramp. If you include Carr in that, certainly for Jax, it's going to be a very difficult take. But again, Body's playing the same angle, and it's going to work for one. Great shot from Alu to turn it around. But Kenny has the off position and slow peeking. Alu's got the shot back. He's also fallen out of the shocks. Kenny goes back out for more. He got caught between two targets last time, and it's a late play on Catwalk. Bomb down, and Ariel goes back to grab it. 16 seconds and a 1-on-2.
He didn't have much chance in this one. Kenny had to play the clock, but all of a sudden it comes to the 1 versus 1, and look what weapon Lucky has got. It's the AWP, and Alu's already tagged him. He's so far away from this situation now. It doesn't look good. He has no kit. I'm sure he can find one on the floor, but I don't think that'll be where he loses the round. With such low HP, he won't have the confidence to walk up, and he's taking his sweet time here.
He really is. Overtime on the cards.
Spotted him.
Absolutely did. But again, he even wants to walk quietly to keep the element of surprise. He's not giving himself much of a chance at this. He's going to have to collect a kit from the site as well. He doesn't have one on him. Ariel finding Kenny changes this altogether. He's got kit picked up from Kenny's body. Goes with the op, spots him. Second op hasn't worked for him this whole game, but he's got it this time, and he might have time in the defuse as well.
I think he has.
Oh, it's not quite. He's got away with it. 16 rounds. They get the first one. What a tense situation. And you said it. He took his time getting there.
Yeah, he really did. Just didn't have the confidence, I don't think, after being tagged. He was hoping he could get some information there. He spotted the T-sided player. I thought they were going to toy with each other a bit more there. The fact the bomb was so close could have hidden behind the bomb side box. But either way, he timed it to perfection there. Takes the challenge just when the bomb was out of reach. So great stuff. It's Ariel who was looking like he was out of this round. Remember, there's 10 seconds on the clock there. Kenny could have hidden on the ramp and forced him to come in and kill him before the plant can go down. But instead, he challenges. The round goes in favor of ENCE. On control now, X7 looking to Molotov the corner, which is successfully deployed. The CTs have to fall back at this point and yield long, and this let it slip by. Is Shoxy solo again. Good for maybe a couple of frags, maybe 3. It's Alu who does respond, but the damage has been done.
Sergey's got the response back on Kenny. They're a man down and trying to go for 17, 2 in a row T-side. Again, you said it, this is G2's map pick. They want to get the win on this. You favored them in the series and heavily on this map. It hasn't gone so as yet, but Alu, even with the man down, he's going to get the bomb planted. Jax, Nate did damage as well. Body's got Sergey, and Alu's stuck on top of the site, but Sergey may have spotted both. If he spots 2, Alu knows he's got room to wiggle.
It's 3 players he's got to kill here, but he's certainly capable. Not going to land the first shot, unfortunately. He is just swarmed. You can see them planting towards long. That's the long plant. They were hoping Alu could plant, knife out, jump across, and get towards the pit, and then they could really play off it. His teammate, though, peeking towards long, taken down, and at that point, Alu was just done for. It is going to be G2 answering back, though, to tie things up at 1-1. It's the final round of this half of overtime now. Who will take the lead going to the second? It's Shoxy. Like we said, has been playing a lot of these rounds solo. This time, he manages to get a couple of frags and take the bomb down. It's a great work by him. Money on both sides of the final round. Money only becomes a conversation when the CT loses the first round, then the second. They might actually be on pistols for the third with 10k. That's the starting point. Shots fired, and it won't connect this time.
Alexi's got it back, but the is behind the door, absolutely not. A bit ambitious to try and take over mid-control, having just killed the man that was there, unaware that there was multiple. Body only gets 1. And a direct line spray toward the B tunnels. Good shot from Alu, catching Kenny on the rotation, and this time it's the advantage to ENCE. Bomb, it's inside of B, but it's not fully clear yet. Smoke down, yes, okay. Shox is outside of the site, but he could quickly swing in that window.
All comes down to this, 3 versus 2. No saving now. Shox trying to deny the plant, but a little bit too late on the incendiary. Wouldn't have done anything anyway. Jax will have to join his teammate at this point. He's got flashbangs, they can smoke the tunnels. I think they'll have to do that, as he might line that up right now. That is the smoke for the tunnels right there. They'll flash over and see what they can do with this.
Corner for Sergey. Ariel's on 17, but Sergey going to be there. Flash in, find the kill, nearly turned it around. Alu's got the op, and he's positioned well. 17-16. It's a 1-round game again.
It absolutely is. ENCE just need this opening run on the CT side to find map points again. Well, they better close it out, though. The T side of G2, for me, was questionable. It seems like they just focus on those long takes over and over again. Not enough kind of method behind it. It was all just quite loose and hoping it was going to work out, but the defense from ENCE towards that long position was very, very good. Nice shot from Alu to close that round out, like he said. Positioned well, looking over the smoke, focusing on the window. It was a 3 versus 2. Good effort from G2 with the smoke towards tunnels. The flash is over. They did everything they could, but Alu doesn't seem to be missing much right now.
Starting to get to our overtime quota in this event. We didn't have many last week, considering how many there had been in previous majors. Now between complexity and this game, we're starting to get there.
That's more like it from G2. Now they actually are smoking the corner and using correct grenades. I think they've remembered how they usually approach the situation.
Watch. Oh, he's been caught. He tried to slide out the door behind him while they were all distracted on catwalk, but he got caught for it. Ariel only managing one, and Jax pulls it back to just 7 to find, and he's revealed himself. Shot the AUG inside CT. He's going to go with a long route. Body's aware of this, and he's making a lot of noise. He doesn't know Body's this close, so he's already given himself a lead shadow position. All too easy. 17-17. And you're right, G2. That time they didn't have to do much to get long, but at least the smoke was there.
The smoke was there. They flashed effectively. They managed to actually trade out kills this time. And what a battle that was towards shore. So back and forth. But it looked like ENCE had it with the aerial double kill. There wasn't quite enough there. And we will tie things up. 17-17. 1-0 in the second half. Can G2 actually be the ones to find map point first and go for the clean sweep here? The 3-0. Remember we said the money becomes a factor. If ENCE lose this round, they really won't have enough to work with as the auto snipers come out as well. Body having some fun with that. No damage inflicted though. Default round from what I can see from G2 here. It's actually a 3-man stack from ENCE as they claim long at the very start of the round. Get a player in towards Pip. Make sure he's comfortable. That's Ariel. And now the default begins. G2 will focus on that short control and make sure there's no AWPers towards that position. Take vision away. Can still smoke Xbox from lower. Got 5 smokes. Didn't want to use any of them at the start of the round.
Quick check. No one peeking aggressively at B. That hallway hasn't really been a point of contention as much as you might expect on a typical Dust game. Lucky again will hold toward T-spawn just to make sure they don't push out from long cave, but at the same time they'll go catwalk with the other 4. I say that Jax has the potential that he could push mid, but I get the feeling he may just hold for now.
They've just done the CD spawn smoke just to suggest we might go for this split here. You can see it's actually caused a rotation towards spawn as well, and Ali will have to fall back towards the side, but he is in time. They've got the smoke down to actually buy him some space on the bomb site here. He has no flashes though. This is all down to raw skill. He needs to hit a couple of shots here, or G2 are going to find map points first.
Molotov's in as well. That's going to make things awkward for Alu. He's got the first shot, but he's going to burn alive. Jax takes him down. He was flashed as well on top of it, so nowhere to go as Alexi B gets underneath. The bomb will be planted once again. G2 could swing the lead back in their favor with 2 straight rounds, and the money is, again, is a factor because it's MR3 10K in Valve's rules set. Shocks and Lucky trying to make that the case. But Alexi B's on top of the site. He can tap this.
Oh.
Lucky's got to go around it. He's not even there. He can't get to it. He's holding this. Alexi B might, enough jump shots going to be required, and he would have to be lucky. It's ENCE with 18.
Lucky just didn't see the round panning out in that manner. He was going for the CT spawn backstab there, but all of a sudden 2 kills come in. He can't do anything with that plant apart from go for a jump shot. It's a full defuse and a comfortable one towards the end as well. It's 18-17 in favor of ENCE on Dust 2 here. Their money's still not ideal. Even after winning the round, an auto shotgun comes out for Alu. They have no AWP here. We could go to double overtime, no problem at all. As it looks to be a G2 timeout now. They're the ones that need to answer back. They actually do have a bit of an advantage. So it's going to be a UMP for X7. Alu on the auto shotgun. And we'll see if this is enough to find the first map in their favor. It's a best of 3 series. Where does Alu go with the shotgun? Does he sit towards shore? Maybe go for jumping shots from the CT boxes? Will be revealed momentarily as G2 have the pressure on their side now. ENCE have already guaranteed double overtime. If they can close it here, that'd be fantastic. It's Alexi B who's got the AWP. Is he going for some sort of pick here? Is he going to try and make a play? It looks like he is. He's going to go for a boost behind the smoke here. I love it.
Oh, he's tagged up though.
God, this is a little bit scary now. He does get tagged. There's the lower B push. Alu with 1 shell from the auto shotgun gets the frag, but surely Jax will take him down. He gets the AK instead.
Oh, he's surrounded. They came in from B. They took advantage of Alu's position. Imagine that. An auto shotgun is what starts off potentially the last round of the game in overtime. As Alexi B gets Kenny S as well, Lucky and Body trying to keep G2 in contention on their own map. So 1-on-5. Again, it's Lucky left alive, and I think ENCE have done this. We're going to go to Mirage with them. One map up, bomb down in tunnels. They know where it is. He'll swing around the box, and that'll be the end of him. Shot in the back and taken down by the man who started the round. It's Alu.
The auto shotgun. He has the audacity to buy that weapon.
Yeah.
His teammate had the AWP and go for the boost play. He says, don't worry about it. I'm going to go lower. I'll get a kill here. He finds the bomber. He gets the AK. His teammates push up a B. It's so calculated. It's so perfect. They had little to no resources there after winning the previous round of just one player surviving.